Hey there, comic fans! Welcome back to Comic Yahud. Today we're diving into Chapter 3 of Tintin and the Crab with Golden Claws. Let's get started. Tintin, bound and frustrated, demands to know why he is tied up, his voice echoing in the cold metal hold. The captor, Alan, shrouded in a trench coat, dismisses Tintin's plea with a cryptic remark, leaving him more puzzled. As the heavy door slams shut, Tintin's protest is cut short, leaving him in the suffocating silence of the hold. The sound reverberates, amplifying his sense of isolation and urgency to escape. Suddenly, Snowy appears, wagging his tail with excitement, bringing a glimmer of hope to Tintin's predicament. Tintin, relieved and surprised, praises his loyal companion, suspecting that Snowy snuck in while the captors were distracted. Tintin hushes Snowy, his eyes wide with alertness, as they both tense at the sound of ship horn. The thunderous blast of the ship's horn reverberates through the hold, drowning out all other sounds. Tintin's mind races with thoughts of their location and the urgency to escape. Realizing they are bound for an unknown destination, Tintin urges Snowy to chew through the ropes, determined to seize any opportunity for freedom. His resolve is clear as he vows to outsmart the captors and escape their clutches. The ship cuts through the water, its smokestack belching dark plumes as it sails toward an uncertain destination. Tintin and Snowy remain hidden below deck, plotting their escape with growing apprehension. In a cramped cabin, two men huddle over a piece of paper, one reading aloud a sinister message from their boss. "Send T to the bottom," echoes ominously, as they exchange determined glances, unaware of Tintin's resolve to thwart their plans. The man in the blue, mentioning he just sent Pedro with food, but seems unfazed by the prospect of a more permanent solution. As he discusses using a rope and lead to fix things, their menace grows, casting a shadow over Tintin's hopes. In the dimly lit hold, Tintin sits helplessly as a man approaches with a pitcher and a bowl of food. Tintin sarcastically thanks him, questioning how he is supposed to eat with his hands tied behind his back. The captor, Pedro, considering Tintin's predicament, reluctantly agrees to loosen the rope slightly, warning him to behave. Tintin nods, aware that this small concession might be his only chance for freedom. As Pedro brandishes a gun, he threatens Tintin, emphasizing the peril of any deceptive move. Tintin remains tense, understanding the dire stakes of his situation as the man's eyes bore into him with a chilling intensity. As the ship continues its journey, a man in blue strides purposefully down the dim corridor, clutching a coil of rope and a lantern. His expression is grim, hinting at a task he intends to perform with decisive efficiency. He pushes open the door, revealing Pedro bound and gagged in the corner, his eyes filled with defiance. The man's surprise is evident, heightened by the sight of a broken pitcher on the floor. Kneeling beside Pedro, he recounts how he was tricked into loosening the ropes, only to be met with a swift blow. Undeterred, he warns Pedro of the harsher consequences that await, his voice low with threat. Amidst the chaos, Alan in the trench coat erupts with anger, berating his fallen comrade for allowing Tintin to escape. As another man points out the additional threat of Tintin now being armed, their frustration and fear become palpable. Meanwhile, Tintin and Snowy find temporary refuge among a stack of crates, hoping they contain supplies. Tintin's voice is filled with hope as he speaks of withstanding a siege, determined to use whatever they find to their advantage. With Snowy by his side, Tintin pries open a crate, eager to discover its contents. His curiosity turns into action, each movement filled with the anticipation of finding something useful for their plight. Tintin's eyes widen in surprise as he uncovers a crate filled with tins of crab, exclaiming in disbelief at the unexpected find. Snowy watches eagerly, his presence a comforting reminder of their shared adventure. Picking up one of the tins, Tintin realizes with certainty that they match the ones they had been searching for, the connection sparking a glimmer of hope. His mind races with the possibilities of what this discovery could mean for their mission. Determined to make the most of their discovery, Tintin decides to leave the mystery of the tins for later and continues to inspect the remaining stores. With a resolute nod, he prepares to delve deeper into their exploration, eager to uncover more secrets. Tintin exclaims with delight as he discovers champagne among the supplies, sharing his excitement with Snowy. Snowy responds enthusiastically, their spirits lifted by the unexpected bounty. With a playful grin, Tintin offers Snowy a drink, holding the bottle aloft. Snowy jumps up eagerly, his tail wagging in anticipation of the treat. Suddenly, Tintin hushes Snowy, signaling for silence as he listens intently for any approaching danger. The tension between them heightens, their moment of joy interrupted by the need for caution. Tintin, clutching the champagne bottle, urgently signals Snowy to be quiet, whispering that they must avoid being found. His expression is tense, aware that their pursuers are close. Alan and his two companions move cautiously through the lower deck, searching for Tintin. They pass through a metal door when suddenly a loud bang erupts from inside the room. As Tintin nervously fumbles, the champagne bottle bursts open, showering him in foam. Snowy barks in surprise, stars dancing around his head, adding a moment of chaos to their hiding place. Outside, Alan and two men stand by the door, convinced that Tintin has barricaded himself inside and will eventually be forced out by hunger. Their smug confidence is evident as they discuss their plan to wait him out. Inside, Tintin smirks as he overhears their conversation, using a can opener to access the food they believe he lacks. His cheeky retort to their assumptions is filled with a quiet defiance. As Tintin opens the can, his expression shifts to surprise, and Snowy looks on curiously. The unexpected contents leave them both momentarily stunned, adding a twist to their current predicament. Tintin's eyes widen as he realizes the contents of the can, exclaiming in shock that it contains opium. His mind races with the implications of being entangled with drug runners, adding a serious twist to their adventure. Sitting beside Snowy, Tintin processes their predicament, acknowledging they have no food but plenty to drink. Snowy, ever the optimist, humorously notes that their liquid supplies are more than enough, trying to keep spirits high. Determined to find a way out, Tintin peers through a porthole, contemplating their escape from the ship. Snowy, feeling the ship's motion, comments on the rolling waves, adding a sense of urgency to their need for a plan. Tintin realizes that the porthole above is out of reach, but a spark of inspiration lights his eyes as he shares a new idea with Snowy. His determination to escape is clear as he hatches a plan to overcome the obstacle. Meanwhile, a crew member walks briskly along the ship's corridor, unaware of Tintin's nearby escape attempt. His purposeful stride hints at an important task ahead. A fellow sailor informs him that the captain is requesting his presence, prompting a dismissive and disdainful response. The sailor's contempt for the captain is clear as he questions what the old drunkard wants, revealing an underlying tension on the ship. In the ship's dimly lit cabin, Captain Haddock pleads desperately for whiskey, clutching an empty bottle as he bemoans his plight to Alan. Alan, with a slight nod, assures him that such a situation is intolerable and promises to send some whiskey at once, his expression a mix of feigned concern and hidden contempt. Captain Haddock, with slurred speech and wavering eyes, expresses his gratitude to Alan, calling him his only true friend amidst the turmoil. Alan responds with smooth words, assuring Haddock he would never deprive him of whiskey, all while maintaining an air of smug superiority. As Alan exits the cabin, his stride becomes more confident, revealing his true intentions as he mutters about becoming the boss of the ship. His coat billows with emotion, and a sly grin spreads across his face, hinting at a plan to seize control. The ship sails through the night, its silhouette stark against the vast, dark ocean, with waves crashing against its hull. This quiet night cloaks Tintin's daring plan in shadows, making it the perfect cover for his escape. With darkness as his ally, Tintin gathers his courage and prepares to execute his escape plan, clutching the necessary tools. He cautiously navigates through the porthole, his heart pounding with the thrill of what lies ahead. Meanwhile, Captain Haddock, lost in his own world, pours himself another drink, startled by a sudden noise. The unexpected sound sends a shiver of alertness through him, momentarily breaking the night's stillness. Tintin carefully maneuvers through the shadows, clutching a makeshift device to aid his escape while avoiding detection. His resolve is unwavering as he whispers to Snowy about their slim chances but presses on nonetheless. Meanwhile, Captain Haddock, lost in a haze of rum and a game of cards, barely stirs as Tintin's wooden anchor slips through the porthole. It swings down and thuds against the captain's head with a sharp clunk. Haddock grumbles, rubbing his head. The captain is jolted from his stupor as he notices the wood anchor dangling and questions its presence, confusion etched on his face. No one there. But what? He mutters, eyes wide with befuddlement. The device Tintin was using to climb slipped slightly, causing him to dangle precariously outside the ship. Tintin's grip is firm, but his heart races as he swings in the dark, determined to reach safety. Suddenly, Tintin and Snowy tumble through the porthole, landing in Captain Haddock's cabin with a soft thud. The captain, startled and blaming the whiskey, looks at them with bleary eyes, trying to comprehend their sudden appearance. Tintin and Snowy tumble headfirst through the porthole, landing in a heap on the cabin floor. The world seems to spin for a moment as they scramble upright. Snowy shakes himself dry while Tintin steadies his footing, his eyes darting about the cramped cabin. As Tintin lands, his flailing legs strike Captain Haddock squarely on the head. The captain, caught mid-sip, jerks forward with a grunt. Tintin, holding a gun, crouches in front of Captain Haddock, urging him to remain silent while Snowy watches. The captain, bewildered, stammers in confusion, trying to comprehend the situation as Tintin demands his attention. Tintin explains his predicament, mentioning the forced voyage on this ship, as Captain Haddock indignantly defends his vessel and asserts his authority. Despite his inebriation, the captain threatens to have Tintin imprisoned, his pride stung by the insult to his beloved ship. Tintin confronts Captain Haddock with the shocking news that his ship is carrying opium, leaving the captain in a state of disbelief. Captain Haddock stutters, trying to comprehend how his ship could be involved in something so illicit. Tintin, with a firm yet concerned expression, asks if the captain was aware of the illegal cargo. Captain Haddock, visibly shaken, stammers about his honesty and quickly points suspicion towards Alan, his first mate, accusing him of betrayal. Tintin urges Captain Haddock to assist him and pleads with him to stop drinking, appealing to his sense of honor and family pride. The captain, touched by the mention of his mother, begins to reconsider his actions, his emotions swirling as he processes Tintin's words. Tintin gently pats Captain Haddock on the back, trying to console him as the captain breaks into tears, mourning his mother's memory. Snowy watches sympathetically, his little nose twitching as a glass tumbles off the table. As Captain Haddock continues to sob uncontrollably, Tintin urges him to lower his voice, fearing they might attract unwanted attention. The captain cries out for his mother, his emotions overwhelming him as his fists clench with anguish. Meanwhile, Alan and another crew member stride down the corridor, concerned by the noise, speculating that the captain might have lost his mind. Their expressions are tense as they hurry towards the source of the commotion. As Tintin realizes he's trapped, a sense of desperation fills the room, while Captain Haddock continues to mournfully call for his mother. Snowy stands by anxiously, aware of the impending trouble. Alan bursts into the room, demanding to know the source of the commotion, his expression stern as Captain Haddock remains lost in his sorrow. The captain's repeated cries for his mother echo through the air, intensifying Alan's frustration. Captain Haddock laments his miserable state, while Alan, trying to calm the situation, offers him another drink to ease his distress. The captain, still overwhelmed, hesitantly accepts the gesture, seeking solace in the bottle once more. And that wraps up this chapter. If you enjoyed the story, head to the next part and be sure to like and subscribe for more adventures on Comic Yahad.